Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I gotta tell you, I woke up this morning just ready to go. So we're back in Ivalice Chronicles. This is episode 2 with our Let's Play, and we need to do some house cleaning here. We need to address how do you grind out XP and JP in this game. More importantly, JP, because that's what unlocks job abilities and then other jobs down the line. So we're gonna address that first. Now, we need to head into our menu here, and I can go ahead and put myself into the corner so we can see everything clearly. Kind of had to work on that after last episode, but let's start off with our jobs here. This screen here shows us our build. On the left side there, you have our equipment, and on the right side, you have your abilities. For your abilities, you have your primary ability for whatever job you are on, in this case, the Squire, and then you have your secondary job abilities. I have items, which comes from the Chemist. You can see it up there on the right side. And then we have our reaction ability, our support ability, and then our movement ability. Now, what we're going to do here is set up a foundation and a base to make you successful throughout the game. Just by doing this very early on, you're going to be able to get this very quickly. That's what I'm going to show you how to do as far as this setup. And then from there, branch off and basically do whatever you want. And you'll be free to experiment. If you fail, you'll have this to fall back on and kind of learn the game at your own pace without failing a bunch, essentially. You know, I'm not going to hold your hand and show you what optimal builds to do all the time, but I do want to set you off with a strong foundation to, you know, learn and enjoy the game, because that's just part of the process. But let's start off with Squire here. Why is Squire important? Well, let's look at this Squire job here. We're grinding out XP, focus ability right here. This is priority 1 for what I think everybody in your party should get. After you get focused, the next thing I would get here is JP boost. This is simply going to go into your support slot, and it's going to increase your JP amounts that you gain. So pretty important there. And for whatever reason, if you have any excess JP left in the Squire job, movement +1 is always a nice pickup early on. So that's everything we want from Squire. The other job that we want to be looking at here is Chemist. Now, Chemist, I would take Potion. It's only 30 JP, so really reasonable to get. The other one is Phoenix Down. I did not pick up Phoenix Down for my Chemist in the last playthrough, and that cost us Bruce's life, our generic soldier, so rest in peace, Bruce. But what really we want from Chemist is Auto Potion here as our reaction. This is a fantastic reaction ability that's going to see us all the way through the game, maybe up until maybe the latter half of Chapter 4. But until then, Auto Potion is one of the best reactions in the game. This is going to, when we are hit and we proc our reaction, we're going to use our lowest tier potion to heal ourselves. So lowest tier is just the regular potions, getting heals for 30. Then there is high potions, that'll heal us for 70. And then X potions will heal us for 150. So as long as we dump out all of our potions, our regular potions, and then we switch to high potions, every time we are hit, we're going to be healed for 70, and then that goes the same for X potions. So there will be times where I'll mention it in the Let's Play of when okay, it's time to dump our potions and switch everything to high potions. So I'll mention that as we're going. Right now, potions are completely fine. We only have 49 HP, so completely fine. Now, I want everybody in the party here to be either a Chemist or a Squire. And now let's show you where we're going to grind. Mandalia Plains here. Now, real quick about our random encounters. They're on these blank nodes here, and you can trigger them by just walking over them, or you can just click on the node while you're on it, and the fight screen will come up. More importantly, you can choose just to ignore these all the time, and that's what we're going to be doing throughout most of this playthrough, because we're not going to try to grind too much. And the last thing I want to mention about these nodes are where you come from, as far as the cities, will determine your battle formation location on these maps. So if we come from Garland here to Mandalia Plain, we will have a set location where our party is forming. If we come from Eagrose Castle to Mandalia Plains, it'll be a different location. That does come into play later on, but not right now. Just know that is a game mechanic. But let's show off how we're grinding. And we're going to make this section pretty short, and we're going to do basically a quick edit, so we're not wasting too much of time on this. And again, we can get back to the story. But Mandalia Plains, this is a very notoriously good spot to grind, notably because of this rock formation right over here. This is an excellent spot to set up your team to basically create a kill box to any of the enemies that come into our zone here. So we're just going to put out our full squad. All of them are Squires, all of them have that item ability, and we're going to commence the fight. Additionally, I know we kind of mentioned it in the first episode, but again, fast forward feature. Going to make grinding so much quicker. I'm going to show you how quick you can get this done by just holding down the fast forward feature. So we want to set up our team to kind of show off or to kind of have a kill box here. So instead of focus, because Ramza has a very unique squire, that is his unique job. So he has tailwind, but the premise is exactly the same. It's an ability that we can do at any time, and it's going to give us both JP and XP just by standing in place here. So we're going to be letting everybody come into us, but our entire party is going to be sitting here buffing themselves up. So we're getting JP there, we're getting XP there, and because everybody's the same job as in Squire, they are then having that JP spillover effect happening to everybody else in the party as well. So a lot of things are just going in our favor here and making us very strong. And you can see how fast we can just like whip out these turns here. And oh, actually, this character here, this is a brand new recruit actually, and I picked her up because look at that bravery stat, look at that that faith stat, really high, really good. So that's she's new, so she's gonna have to attack somebody, and then that's the way she's gonna have to level herself up. I see a lot of players, or I guess new people trying out the game, that are just doing like weird things to get XP and JP by like throwing stones at their characters and rushing their characters. You don't need to do that. Just get focus, and then you'll be set. Now in the early game here, some dangerous enemies, chocobos. They have great movement, they have decent speed, they hit pretty hard, but the most important thing is they can heal themselves and any allies or enemies that are around them. So that makes them pretty deadly to deal with. But if you just lure them into like a kill box like we're setting up here, you'll be completely fine. I think the worst I've had it is I had 3 chocobos, and that was an absolute nightmare. But this is essentially the setup. The rest of the video is just going to be me murdering all the enemies, and then we leave the last one alive, and then we just grind out until we have enough JP where we achieved what we want to get. Because you can check that if you go to your status menu here, you can go to view jobs, and you can see how much JP you have for that job. So for Ramza here, we are just looking to get, actually he's set on his squire here. He's okay to move on because he has his tailwind, which is kind of like his version, or it's what we're using instead of focus for him exclusively. And then he already has JP boost, so he's good from squire. I should have switched him to chemist, but now he has enough to get movement there, +1. So we're probably going to leave Ramza alone because we don't want to over level. I want this foundation, everything to be set up by level 5. So at level 5 here, we're going to then change everybody into different jobs, and it's going to get, there's going to be a lot more variety, I should say. So that's it for the setup here. The rest is just going to be me, I guess, just sweeping the field and then leaving the last person alive. And you can kind of see where the party is at as far as their JP. And bop, one down. And another one down, bop. Cleaning up the rest, bop, you're gone. Did a bit of a backstab, and that's the entire group. Now we just have 1 goblin left. And let's just kind of check on our party here as far as how much JP we've accumulated over this just very short amount of time. We have 600, which is a little overkill. I actually did a little bit too much. Maybe actually, you should start this a little bit earlier, but yeah, now we have plenty of JP to get both JP boost here and then also movement. So that's how you grind in this game, guys. You can stay somewhere in that corner, just pick your battles. As far as the chocobos, they are your biggest threat, so do not underestimate them. But after you're done with them, you can just go ahead and just keep using focus to build up again more JP and experience, or you can just do this for money as well. This is a great money method because that's what you get at the end of these encounters as well. But this is how I basically always do my grinding. At the very least, I put Squire as my secondary job for whatever character, and then I just have them use this focus technique to really quickly gain a lot of experience and a lot of JP. But that's our grind out of the way. Let's go ahead and then we're gonna do another cut. We'll be probably closer to level 5, and we'll have our entire setup. I'll show that off, and then we can go straight into the story. All right, and we're done grinding now. Let's take a look at our squad, and they're gonna be looking much different now. You can see everybody's branched out now, but they all have the same kind of build abilities. They have metal, in this case, that is fundaments here, reaction, auto potion, their support ability, JP boost, and then the movement +1. But Robert here, he is now an archer. We have Lettuce, I just like that name, black mage, Damon is our knight, and then we have Evangeline as our white mage. So Level 5, that is all the grinding we're going to do in Chapter 1 here. The rest of the way is going to be straight story. And Chapter 1 ends around, like level 10. So if we're not at that, we'll do a little bit grinding to get to that level. But I think we'll be just fine. But our party composition here is set and good to go. You'll notice if you have the pre-order or the deluxe edition, you have this like Academy blade. This stuff is actually pretty good. Speed's a very important stat. And I'm not going to use them for this playthrough because I don't want anybody to feel like they're missing out if they didn't get that pre-order. But just know if you do have the pre-order, those are pretty good items actually. But yeah, we're not going to use them here. But that's it for our build and our characters at the moment. We'll talk a little bit more about them probably at the beginning of next episode. But right now, let's just get straight into the story here. We're going to Eagrose Castle to rendezvous with the Order of the Northern Sky because we're going to be involved with some sort of campaign against this rebellion group called the Corpse Brigade. So let's get into it.
I hear you were decorated for your first victory, Ramza.
So remember Dicegard there? He is our brother. It's kind of a weird name. I think it's like a German medieval name, if I remember correctly. There are a couple of weird character names in this game, like Zalbag. That's a funny medieval name as well.
They sing your praise from on high. You do honor to our name, my brother, and to me.
I am glad.
Oh? You would not seem it.
I am. Forgive me. Your words do me far more honor than I have done you. No doubt word has already reached you, but the Marquis de Limbury's carriage was waylaid, and the Marquis taken.
You notice the way that Ramza talks to his older brother? It's very cordial. It's not really like brotherly. It's almost like Dicestar there is like an authority figure to him. So kind of leans into kind of the relationship they have. But let's continue on.
What have you in mind to do?
I have already asked Zalbag to dispatch a squad in pursuit. These brigands must eventually come forth to demand ransom. That is, assuming the Marquis yet lives.
I beg of you, Count Beoulve. Lend me 100 men that I might hunt the Horsens down.
Oh, Argath, you are a bold young man, that is for sure.
Please, my lord, grant me the means to avenge my fallen friends.
Mayhap your ears fail you. I said that a squad is to be dispatched. You are not a man of Galleon. Leave her affairs to those of us who are.
But, my lord...
Do not assume to beg favors of me.
I love how Dicegard is basically putting him in his place. It's like, Argath, you're not even from here. I have no loyalties to you. I'm not obliged to do anything for you. You are a guest in my house. That's very much how he's treating him, which maybe he probably should. Argath is asking for a lot, and he doesn't even know him.
Let me remind you, Argath, lest you forget your place. You are but another sword, not yet even knighted.
Okay, well, Dicestar, you put it much more eloquent than I did.
The two of you will remain here at Eagrose and serve among the castle guard.
I like how we come here. We're going to be part of this initiative to get rid of this rebellion, and we're put on guard duty.
You needn't worry. Danger is not like to visit these walls.
So great, now we're just going to protect the castle for the rest of the game, or, oh, another scene.
My own house was once respected as highly as House Beoulve, you know?
Ah.
At least, until my grandfather was captured during the war, after his fortress was overrun. In hopes of saving his own hide, he divulged intelligence about our forces. Positions, numbers, supply routes, whatever it took, he rendered up to the enemy. He turned traitor, thinking to buy his freedom with the lives of his friends.
So Argath's family, so we're all the way on the west side of the Ivalice continent. They were all the way on the east side, so they're probably one of the first that had to deal with the Ordalians basically invading. And as you can see, Argath's father basically was very selfish, and then he was turned traitor. So,
but his freedom scarce outlived his honor. He was not a dozen paces out of the gate when the dagger found his back, killed by some common squire, no more a knight than I.
Yeah, I didn't want to get ahead of myself, but yes, he was Argath's father was betrayed basically by his own people for selling them out, and rightfully so.
One of his supposed comrades spread word of his misdeeds. My lord father would have none of it, of course. But he was the only one. Our bannerman deserted us. Our reputation ruined. I suppose I had best remember my place. Your lord brother has no reason to lend ear to pleas from the likes of me.
There could be an interesting conversation with Argath here, as he's kind of like the sins of the father, they don't fall upon the sons here, but Argath is very much taking it on his back of something his grandfather did. I think I said father earlier, but it was his grandfather that basically ruined his family's name. But is it really Argath's fault? Not really, but Argath is the one sitting here trying to redeem their reputation, their status that they once had.
Delita!
Tetra!
Tetra!
Alma! Zalbog!
Like, I don't imagine Ramza sitting there being greeted by Diceyar that way.
Ramza, you've come home!
It has been some time, hasn't it, Zalbog?
I heard about Garland. They say you made short work of those brigands. Now you've truly the right to call yourself a Beoulve. Father would be proud.
See, Zalbag, he talks to Ramza more as like a brother, like they're family, they like each other. But Diceyar, maybe too much of like an authority in Ramza's life.
Thank you, Lord Brother.
You certainly haven't changed. Gods forbid you show a bit of cheer on being praised. And you, Delita, do not think word of your deeds escapes our ears. Your sister's been so full of pride I quite fear she might burst.
Worry not, my seams have held. Glad to see you looking so well, Delita.
And are you? Have you settled in at school?
Yes, the others have all been quite kind to me.
Now remember, Delita is a commoner, thus teacher here, also a commoner.
Would that we could speak at greater leisure, but there are duties that require my attendance. Rogues do not catch themselves.
I understand. Good luck.
Oh, we received a note of ransom from the Corpse Brigade.
What?
Something about it sits unwell with me. They are anarchists, to be sure, bent on bringing down the aristocracy. But they fancy themselves righteous, and prey only on the nobility and those in our employ. Indeed, when they took hostages in the past, they demanded only in exchange for their captured brethren. Would such as they truly kidnap the Marquis for want of coin?
Why wouldn't they? They're naught but common footpads. What would they know of honor?
So the Corpse Brigade, they see themselves kind of like a Robin Hood, where they're an honorable thief. When they would take hostages, they would only exchange them for their own captured brother. They never held somebody for ransom just for coin. So a little bit of change of tactics within the Corpse Brigade, perhaps, mayhaps.
One of the men I dispatched to watch them has not returned. I suspect he learned something of import and was caught for it. However, there are those who do not think some mere spy worth a search party's efforts.
Where was he last known to be?
In Dorter, the merchant city east of Galleon. Guarding a castle grows dreadfully dull. Wouldn't you agree?
This is why I love Zalbag here. He gives us all the information. He doesn't tell us to go, but he does tell us to go, or that we can go. He gives us the information to make our own choice, but he doesn't say it outright. And you can tell that he probably also went to Diceyar about his own spy and like looking for him, but Diceyar shut that down as well. So Zalbag is also looking out for his own interests, as far as like, he wants to know what happened to his spy. He wants to follow that lead.
Forgive us, Tetra. It seems we must be leaving sooner than we had planned.
And these two obviously just take the bait. They're like, oh, we're going.
Don't worry about me. Just take care of yourself.
I will. Mind your studies. I'll be back before you've even noticed I'm gone. Let's be on our way.
Teacher puts on a brave face, but the truth is not as honeyed as her words.
What do you mean?
She has a hard time of it at school. The others tease her for being lowborn.
So her being commoner does have an effect on her being basically in a nobility school. A little bit of high school drama, sort of, I guess. I wonder if Delita has gone through the same thing, being through the military academy, because again, he's a commoner. It's more so a highborn academy, and you don't really hear him complaining too much about being belittled, but maybe because he's such good friends with Ramza, but I don't know. They don't really delve into that, I don't think.
Forgive me. I shouldn't have said anything. I'm sure you have worries enough of your own. Teacher will be all right. I'm here to look after her.
Then there is naught to worry about. But mind your own limits. You can't be responsible for everything.
Says the brother who never fails to do any and all that is expected of him. Unless you forget, I'm no less a Beoulve than you. It'll take more than a few mean-spirited school peers to get the better of me. But please, don't lose sight of yourself, Ramza. You needn't let your life be ruled by the fact you were born a Beoulve.
Now you're starting to sound like Mother.
So Ramza and Alma, they have the same mother, their common mom. They don't really talk about the mother at all outside of like these few lines, but we don't ever meet her, so I don't really know what happened to her. I think she probably just passed away from some illness. But yeah, Ramza and Alma here, same mother, while Dystar and Zalbag were from, I guess, their father's first wife or something like that. So they're both kind of like bastards in a sense.
Ramza.
She's obviously just worried about him because he's out doing a lot of good things. We're trying to do good things. You know, we did save Argath. We didn't have to do that. Alright, so now we can go straight into the story. But you can see there that the outfitters here, they got new stock on items, and you'll always know when there's new items because it's got that blue little blip on it. So we can just go straight into the fitting room here. And then you just click on your character and then hit the optimize button. And as long as you have the gil, just go ahead and just upgrade your gear periodically. I think he's probably good. Escutcheon, shield, I don't think... Yeah, we'll give him a shield too, sure, why not? And we'll quickly just outfit our other Knight Daemon here because he didn't have anything. And then I think the only thing that we need to check is the other city, because these cities here, they hold different equipment. Usually castle locations, they'll have like, you know, plate mail, long swords, a lot of physical weapons. Where like the more like townships or like merchant cities, they will have cloth stuff for like magic casters. And let's just see, let's just go straight to the fitting room. New gear for you. New gear for you. And new gear for you. And we're good to go. Let's just go straight into the fights. So first, we got this random encounter, this forest, this swamp area right before the city that we're set to go to. And we get to pick up to 4 units, even though we have 4 generic soldiers plus Ramza. Ramza is always going to be in every story mission. So you are going to have to leave out a character when it comes to some battle locations. Now, what's nice about the formation screen here is I, for one, did not give my Black Mage any abilities. So you can actually go into menus now and inspect them and learn some Black Mage skills now. So I would have went into combat without knowing anything that a Black Mage can do. Now I know Thunder, so I'm good to go. And you can do that all from the formation screen here. It's a beautiful quality of life because previously, if we would have done this, we would have been basically shit out of luck. And we just looks like it's just like a normal monster fight on the in this story mission.
Our luck is ill, that we should chance upon fiends such as these in the wood.
But some of us prefer fiends in a wood to a dull watch in Castle Garrett, Argath.
And some of us are not so quick to jape in danger's face.
Some banter between the two.
Enough talk. They come.
You notice my Ramza, his sprite color? I just chose the black one. You get that from the deluxe edition. The normal blue one's actually pretty cool, but since, you know, it's an updated version, I kind of want to have a little bit of change of a look for our main protagonist there. Now for these battles, I think we'll keep the pace, or as far as the game speed, at normal. But don't ever forget about the fast forward feature. I think you just lose out on audio from like how they always say something before they do an action. You lose out on that if you use the fast forward feature here. But Ramza, we want to basically, for most encounters here, the enemies are sometimes going to be in really advantageous positions. And we want to basically draw them out of those positions and meet us more on like a even playing field. Now, that doesn't come into effect with something like if they have like a archer who's really high up. We're just going to have to deal with that. But there's always usually a nice mix in the enemies as far as physical characters or up close characters. So we want to bait them out as opposed to going in basically to their bottlenecks that are, again, advantageous for them. So let's go ahead and we're just going to bump up our stats just a little bit and have them come to us. Now, our Black Mage, on the other hand, they have a pretty good range. And a quality of life from this edition is, let's go ahead and get pretty close, safe position, because Black Mages do a lot of damage, but they aren't the tankiest. But when we cast a spell now, you can see the 3 tiles that we're going to hit there. And so when we go to confirm, it's going to do 33 damage. Okay, magic and aim, the tutorial's trying to beat me to it. When we try to confirm our attack here, it's going to ask us, okay, do you want this spell to be on the unit, or do you want it to stay on the tile? So previously, in the original version, if you were targeting a unit, that spell would follow that unit around. So wherever this panther goes, that spell will hit him, and anybody else that is around him. On the flip side, we can just have it select those tiles there instead, so it wouldn't follow the panther around. Most of the time, you're gonna want it to stick to the unit, but this option here, just for the tile, it's just a nice quality of life feature, because I feel like some situations where that will be useful, they'll come up. We have our knight here. Knight's my favorite class. And it's fine to throw them into the front line. 90 health, they have a shield, they're very tanky. Get the goblins going. We can skip by their turns and just fast forward here. Gonna try to punch us. That was a critical, that hurt a little bit. Bombs on the other hand. So in story missions, our caster. Oof. Black mages are absolutely devastating, especially in chapter 1. They do so much damage and they can do it from range. They're beautiful. But all right, let's move our archer in position first here. And this is another great quality of life. Archers with their crossbows and bows, always kind of hard to tell what you're going to be able to hit as far as your tiles. And so you can see here, if we were in the original version, I'd be shit out of luck because I'm not in range. But in this, we can reset our footing, get a little bit closer. Now we can hit our targets. And this makes, honestly, playing Archer feel a lot better in this version, because I would just honestly avoid them, because it's like, they're just kind of, especially with crossbows, you can see that pattern, maybe it just doesn't always come to mind right off the bat.
I've earned this.
But now, with this version, we can see where our archers are going to hit, and just makes them much easier to play. Nice hit, Delita. We're going to we can change Delita's and Argas equipment and jobs. I don't think we'll touch them though. They're basically just squires, and I think they're fine being that for their part in this game. We kind of want to treat them like, again, just extra allies that can take hits for us and then finish off targets or just help little characters down. So we have Ramza here. He's also going to be a knight, but we're going to change him off knight pretty soon. I don't want him going down that path. Lettuce here. Such a dumb name. Hold on, I'm looking at the win this. So you can see when you're a caster on the left side, where is the spell eventually going to go off? And you can see that this goblin is on turn 4. The thunder will go off on 7. So if we go ahead and target him, and then we pick unit, there's a good chance he's going to move next to one of our allies, and we're going to thunder them as well. So this might be a good opportunity to instead strike here. Nope, actually that wouldn't be good either. None of these spots are good actually on this side. Let's go ahead and move over here because this Panther and this Bomb both are higher up on the turn order. So this spell is going to hit one of them actually, not the other. Okay, that's fine. This will kill that Panther though. But we'll just do it right here just to be safe.
How to proceed?
And then we just want to make sure this Bomb doesn't come up and hit our Black Mage. So we're gonna move right here and then hit the Bomb for a lot of damage. Nice. And when a spellcaster is casting or a archer is aiming, they are vulnerable. I think their evasion stat basically doesn't count because they're concentrating. Could be wrong about that, but they get hit for a lot harder and it's easier to hit them when they're in that charged state. So if you see an enemy that's charging and you can get close to them, there's a good chance you're going to do a lot more damage to them and probably like kill them before they get off their spell. But what I was going to mention though, in story missions, if you have monster enemies that are going up against you, those monster enemies, their level will scale up to your highest level character. So that's why they're level 5. I think in the next mission, the humanoids, they should be around level 3, maybe 4, somewhere in that range. Okay, this bomb's going to self-destruct on us. Great. Oh. Okay, that's a little bit. There we go. There's a reaction right there with auto potion. And so all that damage that bomb just did, we just negated all of it. It's a beautiful reaction ability and it's going to keep our allies very, very safe. But usually when bombs self-destruct, they kill themselves. Instead, that bomb is like on 1 HP instead. So that is a change. Zap. Good job there. So we can just back up, get a better angle so we can see what we're doing. And we're just going to snipe this this bomb here. Now, also additionally with a character like an archer who is using a crossbow at the moment, you can shoot behind them and this will also hit that the bomb instead. So you don't have to target them directly. So you can use that in different positions. Like say if the bomb was closer and he was right here on this tile. If we would have targeted this tile, you would hit the bomb because it's a direct line. For bows, on the other hand, because they have arching shots, it'll go over them sometimes. So keep that in mind. But for this right here, we're good to go. 90% chance to do 10 damage. Bingo, baby. Nice shot. Got Delita's turn. Delita is using our potion stash here. I said that you should probably have around 20 potions, carry around 20. Maybe bump that up to 30 instead, because it seems like in the Ivalice Chronicles, they give you a lot more items to sell. So you're going to have more gil at the beginning of the game. And potions are dirt cheap, but they're very useful in chapter 1 here. So let's just quickly clean up this fight. Ramza, he hits like a truck. He's good at everything. And our spell here, 37 damage, gonna kill him. They're not gonna have a turn because that one is the goblin with the 5, but there is another goblin. He has that turn 3. And we're just gonna back up. Perfectly safe. And that's the other thing about spellcasters. When you cast a spell on something, or you're aiming at something, you then can go as far away as you want. There's no distance requirement once you cast a spell. So keep that in mind. I saw some people not struggling, but they didn't know that about the game. And so that goblin's going to be done, and then so we're just going to have this one to deal with. Ah. She'll increase her job level. That's good. I don't know if our archer's going to be able to do anything, but again, this is why we set up that foundation for our build, because he can't do anything, but guess what he can do? He'll just sit there and focus. That way he's getting some experience, and he's getting job points. And this should be... Nope, not yet. Ramza will finish it off. Now, Ramza's a powerhouse. And because he's so powerful, he's going to be getting a lot of kills for you. And then he's going to be gaining a lot of levels. So Ramza is probably going to be your highest level character.
Once we are clear of the Weald, we should soon reach Dorter.
Dorter. And this just keeps feeding into itself, because Dorter is probably the first difficulty check in the game. Now, we're set up to be completely fine. At least I hope so. But Dorter here it's a difficult fight. Let's go straight into it. It's mainly because what we were talking about earlier with the enemies being put in advantageous positions at the beginning of a fight. They're pretty stacked in this one. So we're going to set up our units here. We're going to we might want to bring our white mage. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring our white
I shall
mage.
do my best.
And then we'll bring our black mage as well.
My turn, is it?
We might not need... We'll leave our other knight. And we'll just take this crew here because Ramza's a knight. He's a great frontline character. We don't necessarily need 2 of them here.
I said I know naught of it.
Do not speak false to me. I know what you've done. Where is Gustav? I will have it from you one way or another.
I don't know.
What of the Marquis? Where have you hidden him? Tell me.
This guy's after the Marquis as well.
I will not ask again. Where are they?
I love this scene.
The desert. They're in the desert.
The Sanrat Siege.
Hold!
The Order's swords. My luck turns foul with the weather.
So he's peacing out and we're just left with this
Seems
other
we did
guy.
well to come here. Have I not seen that man before?
You know him, Delita?
See, that's what I was talking about earlier. Delita is very well informed, or at least he picks up on a lot of things.
I have seen his face, I'm sure of it. It was at Eagrose, just after the war's end.
You'll pardon me my misgivings, but this has not the look of any joyous reunion. To arms!
These dudes just want to get straight into a fight. And you can see their position there. They have archers, they have black mages, and then they have another archer all the way in the top
I've
corner
just
there.
remembered. That man. His name is Eagrose.
Eagrose.
He commanded the dead men during the war, a company of volunteers assembled from the peasantry.
What? But that would make him...
Aye. The commander of the Corpse Brigade.
So Eagrose there, he is the commander of the Corpse Brigade. This is the guy who's leading the rebellion, yet he is looking for the Marquess, even though his order is the one that took him. Interesting.
Leave it to
See how
me.
that unfolds. See, Delita's going up there.
My
Because you can't
turn.
see him just yet. But there's an archer at the top of those buildings. So we're going to have to handle that. I usually just let those two handle it. Argath and Delita, that's like, I feel like where they're, say there he is. But Argath and Delita, they tend to just go up there and handle them on their own. So we're going to leave him to them. Hopefully he doesn't do too much damage to us.
The battle is ours.
And it's these black mages that we need to concern ourselves with. Okay, these guys are like, yeah, level 3. Okay.
Right.
Not too much health. Ramza here. We're just going to Tailwind. Get our speed up a bit. And then we just want to move. We just don't want to overextend, essentially. And we don't want to bunch up because black mages are nasty. I brought a white mage with no healing. If you want to, you can always just hit the start button, and then you can retry literally from the battle formation screen or literally just from the start of the battle. We're gonna let it roll, and I'm just gonna really need to. It's always with my healers. I forgot the Phoenix down last time, and now I forgot to actually bring a cure ability. It's fine. We're gonna get through this. Either way, this is why we have auto potion. That's kind of our way to heal at the moment. Use thunder. Oh, we can hit him. Nice. Okay, and we're on a pretty high ground. We're on the high ground as well. I think we'll do that. We'll hit him with thunder. Help out Delita and Argath, and then our archer can go over here. And although we don't have a target at the moment, just want to make sure that okay. I think that's probably just the best spot for us to set up, and then we can just focus. Get a little JP, little experience, always doing something. Try to harp on that a lot when it comes to new players who play the game. Always do something. Oh, one shot. Yeah.
Me then.
Black mages. I even got my black mage right behind me there. He's
Leave it to me.
it's probably why, because they're just so dangerous.
We will triumph.
They will absolutely carry you through chapter 1. So at the very least, if you're not really into like black mages, just take one. And just have them
Only
just
one thing for
absolutely explode everything with their destructive magics.
It's time.
Alright, we can get into the mix with Ramza here, but we would be like overextended. I think we're gonna chill back with him one more time. We're just gonna bump up his speed. And with Knight, we haven't picked up any of the Arts of War yet, so we don't really need to talk about those. We're actually gonna back up a little bit because that Knight's gonna come into us, and then that mage, both of those mages can cast spells on us. And you know what? If Argath happens to get targeted by, you know, the black mages, I'm not really shedding a tear about it. Those guest characters, they cannot, they won't die, as in they won't get the health blips when they go down. They'll just be like, have like a KO symbol. Oh, Evangeline, you're kind of useless this match, considering you don't have any healing. We'll just get her in there anyways. Maybe she can punch somebody. Not completely useless. Where do we want to go with our black mage is the other question. I kind of want to deal with their black mage. They're a little bit far, but we can target him for 19 damage. Ah, let's just go ahead and one-shot him. Ooh. Maybe. Okay. I take pause because look how quickly our thunder is casting. I'm wondering if spell cast times, the charge times, have got a little bit of a buff, at least early on. Because that seems very early to have like thunder just pop off without a support spell to make it quicker. But I'm not complaining. That's a good change in my opinion. Let's go. Trying to get our archer in a good position where we can. Let's see if this works. Nope. Reset. They are just outside of my range. They know exactly. But we don't need to move. I wonder if me going up in one elevation. No. See, okay. With bow and arrows, you do get a elevation bump. You'll be able to shoot more squares and further away. With crossbows, they're kind of one-dimensional. But we'll get a bow a little bit later on. You're really only stuck with a crossbow for these first couple missions. Bop. One shot. MVP is lettuce as a vegetable and this character.
What's my next move? Damn it.
Argath, that's okay. Knights they deal a lot of damage. So Argath taking that blow for us, good on him. Now, this is the scary part. They're mages. And this is what I think really gets people in this fight, because they absolutely just try to nuke your location. Oh, and Ramza is right out of range, but we can start doing some damage to this knight here. That's pretty good. Shield block. Ooh, I love the animations. I'm sad it happened for him though.
What to do?
And let's see if we can get. Ooh, okay. I love this. Again, because they're charging, we're gonna do more damage. But this kind of like shows like the classic trinity of like all fantasy games where mages beat warriors, warriors beat archers, archers beat mages. And so this is a classic example right now, because this is an instant shot and then can't cast your spell because you're already dead. And I think I'll just stay up here on this perch, actually. It's a good spot there for him. I like you, Delita. I'm sorry you got killed there. And then we're basically playing with a character down because 10 damage with a staff. Not the worst thing. We can cast 2 more spells. Okay. Let's get a little bit closer. I'm curious. You can, okay, so if you press, I'm on a PlayStation controller. If you press square, at any time you can go and inspect a character. See what their gear is and what their build loadout is. I was just looking at this guy because he hasn't done too much. And he has a bow, he has a crossbow. He just hasn't really been getting into the mix. But here we go. With our black mage. Who do we want to target? We're just going to go for their black mage. Let's get him really weak. And that way it sets up our, look at it, instant cast thunders. Love it. But now he's really weak. Sets up an easy kill for our archer. Ramza here, still duking it out with the other knight here. Good hit. And then we'll actually get him a little bit closer, just in case.
I'm ready.
We need him to get basically to the archer or the wizard, just in, like, if things go foul like that. Oh, okay. Auto potion again. So that knight, even though they do a chunk of damage, they only did like 12 damage there. That's why auto potion is just, it's one of the best reactions in the game. This guy's gonna hit our white mage.
I've seen better days.
So archers, they have their aim ability. That's their unique job skills. And they basically just, it's a charge up for their attacks. It works with every physical weapon. So a really good synergy is to take aim, their job ability, and put it on a knight. And that way a knight then can charge up their sword hits, which already do a lot of damage, to do even more damage. So archers are actually really good. I really like archers, actually. Now, especially in this version. Oh, he's just outside. We want this guy to be a little bit more mobile, but that's okay. And 25 damage for a crossbow shot. Oh, we crit. God damn. Dude, this version, this playthrough right now is trying to make me really play an archer, and I'm digging it. 2 magic strikes. Look at how much damage.
Hardly a scratch.
Auto potion, baby. Auto potion. So good. If you're struggling with the game, grab auto potion. Everything will be okay. White mage, you've done absolutely nothing this round. That's fine. But you're just getting some job points. Let's go ahead and KO this mage there, and then this knight. Unfortunately, we're facing the front of him, which makes it kind of harder to hit him. Although, yep, we can just swing around to the side, and then a little bit better odds, and it's over. Easy peasy.
But how?
So that is one of the hardest fights in the game, as far as, because it's very early on. Note how much easier it is just because of auto potion. Again, you could run whatever you want, but because we have a strong foundation with our reaction ability, it makes that fight super easy.
Of the brigade. There's no use hiding it. Out with it. What have you done with the Marquis? Where are you holding him? You were with your commander, Eagrose, when we came upon you. 'Twould seem he cast you off as a lizard would its tail. Where has he gone? Where is your den? Mayhap a beating would loosen your tongue.
Argath, he's got a little bit of a temper.
Enough, Argath.
Listen well. A great host, with the Order at its van, prepares a sweeping campaign that will bring to book your Turncloak Brigade. You will die. You will be hunted down to the last and slaughtered like the swine you are.
So Argath clearly, he doesn't consider these brigands here basically human. He thinks very low of them.
But you, pig, are a lucky one. Tell us what we wish to know, and you may yet keep your bacon. So, where is Eagrose?
And I like how Ramza and Delita are just kind of like chilling off to the side. They're kind of like good cop, bad cop, and they're the good cops, and letting Argath see how far he can take it to get the information out of this guy.
I know.
Oof.
I'll not bear your ribald tongue, rogue. Learn to guard it if you've not have it cut from your throat.
I am no rogue.
Tell that to the men you've robbed.
You nobles, sir, are all the same. You think every man born outside a castle's walls less than human. We fought for this kingdom at the peril of our very lives, yet the moment that the war was ended, you turned us out into the streets.
Kind of goes back to these soldiers came home to basically nothing. Things they were promised, money for fighting in this war. They didn't get any of it. What are they supposed to do now when they return home after, sacrificing so many years of their lives? Where the nobles, they can kind of go back to what they were doing. They're fine. But the everyday man, not doing so well.
What do you think makes you so special? Birth. blood. What difference does it make?
You kidnap men for ransom, then dare ask the difference between us?
No. No, the Marquis's kidnapping was no plan of Eagrose.
What?
So maybe a little bit of divide going on within the Corpse Brigade.
He would never hold a man for ransom. Such a lowly act. It goes against all we believe in.
Then who was it? Someone kidnapped the Marquis Elmdor de Limbury.
Speak. If not you, then on whom would you pin the deed?
It was Gustav.
Gustav,
Who is Gustav?
for those who come after.
Gustav Margrave, Lieutenant Commander of the Dead Men.
So the Corpse Brigade was behind the kidnapping?
No. We're not like Gustav. We fight to end the aristocracy, not to become it. To be treated as equals, as the men of honor we are.
What do maggots know of honor?
Really laying
That's
it into him.
enough, Argath!
So where is this Gustav?
In the Samrat siege.
Sandrat?
You are not of Gallione. Small wonder you've not heard of them. Sandrats are unique to the Zeklaus Desert, north of Dorter.
Keep bringing it up, but Delita, he knows what's going on. He's very well educated, and he's very insightful, observant, and knowledgeable, especially with where he's growing up and the politics he sees.
Your point being?
Do any villages lie in the desert?
Even Ramza goes to him with questions, even though they're both, raised essentially together. And he's noble and Delita's common, but Delita knows more.
Villages? No. At least, not anymore. But the Desertmen once built a settlement by an oasis, and its ruins remain.
Then that's where we'll find Gustav and the Marquis.
Aye, like as not.
How can you be so certain?
A siege is a Sandrat's burrow. It's home.
Hmm?
So, I guess we're heading to the desert then. But, looking at the time, that calls to the end of this episode here. I'm going to do some house cleaning as far as making sure all my characters have appropriate abilities and that their gear's up to snuff. But yeah, next time we'll hit the ground running with more story. Hopefully we can get done chapter 1 in 1 to 2 episodes. But yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions as far as the playthrough or just questions about Final Fantasy Tactics, how mechanics work, if something's not working out for you, you don't understand something, feel free to ask in the comments below. I will do the best I can to answer it. But yeah, until then guys, peace and take care.